All right, you're in astronomy, A or B. Awesome job. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over Canvas just a little bit and how to navigate. I'm going to go over the units, and we're probably not going to spend much time on classroom expectation, things like that, because we'll go over that in the classroom matrix. So this is Canvas. You would already had logged in, got set up, got into the class already. The home page is going to be the syllabus. This is general info, name, room number. I actually need to change it to 404 this year. And this will take us to the individual units. So this first 6 weeks, second 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, fourth, fifth, sixth, okay? All this is always subject to change. You know, sometimes Arlington changes the order or something like that. I'll keep it updated, so you'll be good to go, right? So if you are wondering what you have left, and you can just scroll down and look at this. And I'll put a syllabus up too, but it's going to be the same information. So if you're on, let's say, Unit 3, you know that you have a couple more units to go until you'll be on second 6 weeks, right? So let's go ahead and go to modules. This is modules. The very first module is called General Info and Logins, okay? This is how you get to certain things in the class. We'll go back to this in just a second, but I'm going to leave it here just so you know, right? So the first thing you're going to do when you first get in the class is go to this start here. You're going to have your Welcome to Astronomy, which is actually the video I'm making right now, so awesome. And then you'll have the classroom matrix, which will also, you'll go to that when you're done with this one. This is just the classroom matrix. Every class has one. I'm just going to go over it, hopefully not spend too much time, and that'll be done. The first thing after you do this start here module is always going to be safety. I get safety super boring, completely get it. You've probably done it 100 times if you're sophomore or junior, but alas, every time you start a semester, first or second, or change schools, you got to do safety. So you'll go through this module. This is what Canvas generally looks like. Open up safety, bam. You're going to go through each one of these units. This is the thing that says what unit it is. This is a page. This is an assignment. It doesn't really matter too much, but you'll click through. I'll try to put instructions or directions on each unit. Some I have, some I'm still working on, so you can ask me, but that way it'll be a little more fluid for you guys to go through. So let's look at a unit, right? Let's see what one looks like. So this is the first unit after safety, charting the heavens, right? It's first semester. This is what it looks like, okay? This is the unit. This is about how many days it should take. So if you get this on a Monday morning, it should be done Friday and then tested Friday, right? So looking at this, this is your checklist. As you complete things in your unit, check them off, make a mark so you know where you're at, right? So step 1, check Canvas for directions. There's always going to be directions on every unit. If there's not, skip over this, but it'll be on Canvas if there is. Step 2, create account on Explore Learning. So if we open this up, we can see, hey, this is the account creation deal on Explore Learning. If it ever changes, I'll update this, but this is the code. So let's go back to Canvas. So what I was talking about, like that first logins page, bam. So if you go here, Solar Gizmo login, it's the same sheet as the sheet that I just showed you, and it has the code. So when we go back to our Unit 1, notice it has a lab here. It says Gizmo Lab. You have to create an account and log in to do this lab. If you don't, you can still do the lab, but it limits you to 5 minutes a day. So if you try to do the lab, you'll see a timer at the top, and it'll be like 5 minutes counting down, right? And usually it takes a little longer than that, so you want to make an account. That way you can do it anywhere and you have infinite time, right? So, FYI, that's how to do that. It's on the first unit, but if you don't see it, then I'll put it on that logins page. So this is our table of contents, right? So we check for directions, we created an account, and then this is the activities. Excuse me, this is the things to do. Notice they all have symbols, right? So if we go to the bottom of this unit, you can see what the symbols mean. A little asterisk is optional. I try not to put too many optional things on here because, I just don't want to do it, but sometimes there will be some optional things. A little up arrow, that's going to be included in the unit. In other words, like everything you need is in this unit. Spade, I want to say this means it's on Canvas, right? And then there's, of course, classroom labs. So if we look at this, vocabulary frayer, I'm making vocabulary for each unit. So just like the unit directions, they should be on the first few of them, but if they're not, they will be, and you can just skip over it. So if you're fast enough to get to the unit before I make them, awesome. We'll skip over that, right? So the next thing is the study guide. This is the stuff that follows along in the book, right? So when you open up and you see this and it says 1.1, you know that these questions are answered in Chapter 1, Section 1. So it's only going to be in Section 1 of Chapter 1, right? So if you get, so for example, if you are on this question, and you, oh, there we go, and you cannot find it, and you're in Section 2, well, that's because you're in Section 2. You know it's going to be in Section 1 because it says 1.1. If there's a mistake, let me know. If you're like, hey, Mr. Bears, I found this in Section 2. Hey, let me know because I made these, and sometimes I make mistakes, right? So if you go to this next page and you see, oh my goodness, that is 1.2. Well, that's going to be Section 2, right, of Chapter 1. Okay? So the rest of this stuff, notice there are the spades, and that means it's going to be on Canvas, right? So there's a Scholastic Earth, a Scholastic magazine. I have the hard copy magazines in class, and then I try to put copies in here. I don't think I put a copy for that one, but I have the physical copies of the Scholastic magazine. Just let me know. I'll have it at the back of the class. And then you'll answer discussion in Canvas, right? So let's look at that, see what that looks like. We go back here. Let's see, which one was it? Scholastic Earth isn't flat. Oh, I gotta put that. It'll be here. So it'll be here. Let's look what a discussion looks like. So this is a discussion topic. So after this movie, 7 myths you still believe about space, you'll watch the movie here, and then you'll go next, and there'll be the discussion. So if we click this, bam. So what myths did you previously believe, or how did your astronomy views change after watching the video? Very simple, very easy. I have an example here. It'll still be here. Okay, so it's set up. You can go back and watch the video if you want. No problem, no worries. So discussions are they're not meant to be too difficult, but it's just something to sort of think about what you just did. Okay, so I'm not going to go too into each one of these activities because I'll save that for the directions. But I just wanted to sort of touch on that. So this is a discussion on Canvas. This is a video on Canvas, and there'll be a very easy short quiz after that. Video, discussion, just video. Notice it doesn't say plus anything, so it's just simple video on Canvas. And then this is an activity on Canvas. Then you're going to have the lab. We talked about that lab, and various units will have labs. The stuff to do will be in the unit. Notice it says Gizmo. This is the thing we talked about logging into. You'll have the lab stuff, and you'll have to go to the Gizmo on Canvas to finish it, right? After that, I'm going to create reviews. So that's coming. If you don't see it, it'll be there soon. And I'm going to go over those, put a video on Canvas for that. But almost every unit has a review in the very end. Okay? Looks like this. These are questions. This is practically verbatim from your test. They're not multiple choice tests. They are all short answer, right? So what does that mean? That means you're going to have a question on your test that's going to say, for example, what is a light year? There's no multiple choice. It's just, that's all it says, and there's a blank, and you got to explain it. It seems a little hard, but I promise you these are a little bit easier than your standard test. You know it's coming. I mean, I have this here. If you somebody gave you a copy of the test, it'd be practically the same thing. You know the information you're expected to learn. And the tests are set up in ways that it'll be like, okay, for example, get 5 right and you get a 70. Get 8 right and you get a 80 or 75 or whatever, right? So you're just going to pick X number of these, answer as many as you can, and you'll know, if you know the ones you got right, you'll know about what you got, right? So, cool deal. That's just about it. So that's sort of how to navigate Canvas. These are generally your units are going to look like this. Some are a little shorter than others. If you notice up here, this is what unit number you're on. So this is the first unit of a total of 14. And again, should take 5 days. These are the teaks it's supposed to cover. You don't have to worry too much about this, but what you should focus on is how long do I have to take this so I don't fall behind? And then if you want to know, what you got left, it's right there, right? So that's it. Welcome to Astronomy. You're gonna do great. I have copies of every chapter. Just ask me. I'll have it up by my desk. You guys can take that home. So I have copies of every chapter you can take home so you can do the work at home, right? Of course, there's books here. We can't check those books out. But you can take the copies of the chapter, which is the same thing as the book, right? So that's about it. If you guys got any questions, let me know. I know for day one you're going to finish this video, which you're about to be finished, go over the classroom matrix, and then immediately just go ahead and start safety. Safety will take maybe 20 minutes or so, give or take. And then depending on the unit you're on, some of you are just starting the class, so you'll start unit 1. Some of you are coming back from the spring semester, and then we'll just start out wherever you left. So with that being said, if you guys got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, keep going to the matrix, and then we'll go to safety from there.